Hey, welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, we need to tackle some blinds in our master bedroom. We've had these for a number of years now, and they're really rough. So it's about time to get these replaced with some smart blinds, because these are just the old-fashioned dumb blinds. We have some BlindsMagic blinds that we're going to be installing today, and they did provide a discount code. So we did purchase these, but at a discounted price. But as you know, I always give my honest opinion here, so I'm not going to give them any special, grace because of that. So I'm going to get these installed. We have 3 windows here, and then there's 1 window on each side of the master bedroom bed that we have here. So we're going to get these installed, and I'll let you see how they work, what they look like, and my opinion on those. So without further ado, here we go. So this is how they get delivered. I'm going to open these up and show you what it looks like on the inside. So these are the 2 smaller blinds right here, and then the control unit, I believe, here on the end. So in the big box, you get the blinds, and there's air pouches surrounding the whole blind. So it's really well packaged. Definitely doesn't feel like it could get damaged very easily. It would take a lot of force to get through this and really damage the product. And once you pull that off, you have the BlindsMagic itself. So it's just one component here, and you can see the blinds. We have the one with the shears built in, and it's all contained right here. And in the smaller box, we have brackets and screws and 2 remote controls. So here you can see the remote control with the different buttons on it for operation if you didn't want to use the Zigbee that we purchased or another protocol. You could do it directly with the remote control, which could be nice at night, if you just want to grab something real quick. You could put a button certainly by the nightstand or whatever else you want to do, but using the remote controls would be pretty easy as well. So finally, I think we're at the point where we can get rid of this. Now that I got this one installed, I just wanted to show you the instructions before we jump to the last one for that installation. You can see it's really quick and easy. So there's, if you have no valance or if you have the valance, and it's just 3 easy steps. So it talks about the preparation, installing the brackets, and then inserting the rail here. So pretty quick and easy, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, let's get this one down. Now that we got this one down, I'll show you how easy it is to put up, and I'll let you know how long it takes me. So what you do is you take one of these brackets, and we're going to mount it on the top. So we just have these 2 screw holes here, and you need to mount it about 4 inches from the edge. So I don't really like taking the tape measure each window and doing all of that. So I found this piece of scrap that they used to protect the larger blinds that we bought in the box, and it's right at 4 inches. So I'm going to use this as a template to put beside this to just get us that 4-inch margin from the edge of the blinds there. So I take the template, put it up top, hold the bracket against it, switch over to the drill, make sure I'm going in, and insert it. Take the second screw and insert it in the second hole. Get a nice snug fit there. Get the next screw on my drill and use my template. Put the bracket beside it. Grab my drill. Insert the first screw. Grab the second screw. We've got 2 snug brackets. So now that our brackets are snug, I'm going to grab the blinds and they pop right in. We got the ones with the valance on the front. So this would be the front of ours. If you don't, then you would have something that looks more like this, where it's just open, but we wanted the covered look. And what there is now is there's this slot here. So you push the slot against the front, and that retracts. It's spring loaded, and then the back pops in here, and you let it up and release it, and that's how you hang them. Just like that, they're installed. A matter of about 2 minutes. That's it. So easy. I've put up a lot of blinds in the past, dozens and dozens in this house, and these are by far the easiest blinds to install that I've ever done. Really like the setup and how it clicks in place. You don't have to worry about getting exact measurements. I use the window itself as the backer so that I know they're definitely the same distance from the front or back of the window. I don't have to go and measure anything there. So put it against that. Use this little template that I found and put them right up. No problem at all. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like using the remote control and what it looks like to connect it into Zigbee and what that looks like within Home Assistant. All right, now that we got the blinds installed, we're gonna go ahead and use the remote. So the first thing we're gonna do is raise the blinds all the way up. And right now I have it where it's sending the signal to all of the blinds, so they do it in unison. And we can also lower them all the way down. I'm gonna actually show you the stop button while they're going down. So if there's anywhere you'd like to stop them, all you have to do is wait till they get to that spot and then hit the stop. And you can see they stop there. And I'll show you what it looks like the rest of the way down. And that's the fully down location. And you can see through them. So what I did, we like the privacy when they're down. So I programmed the favorite button here. So when I press that, it'll change them to where it just raises them up enough to close the blinds. And all of this can also be done without the remote. So the remote was the most difficult portion of the installation and configuration for me. And it's not the remote itself. It's not really the blinds themselves. It was a number of things that were compounded. So the first thing that happened was I realized that when they shipped those out, the one larger set of blinds that we have here, they already had a remote paired to them. And when I paired the second blind to a remote, it actually started controlling both of them under the same channel, and I could not get it to forget the channel. I could follow the instructions on the instruction manual, and it wouldn't forget it. So what I ended up doing was I took the second blind and I reset the whole thing. So if you hold down the one button for a while, it'll actually go into a full reset. And once you get to that point, though, what you have to do is you have to hold the button to move, or hit the button a bunch of times to move everything to where it needs to be, and actually set the limit. So set the upper limit, set the lower limit. So I needed to configure that to match the other two and make sure everything was, able to move in conjunction with each other. So that took me a while. It definitely took the most time out of any of the processes setting up, and was the most aggravating, we'll say, as well. All right, now let's get the BlindsMagic set up in Home Assistant. We'll jump in here to our Zigbee. So now I'm going to put them in pairing mode. So we have to press the button down for about 6 seconds until they move twice. So back and forth twice. Let's see if it pops up here. It shows it's in pairing mode. It's starting the interview, and it says complete successfully. So that's good. So if I want to put them up, I can put them up, or I can stop it, or we can put them down, and you can see how quickly everything works. And I'll pause it there or stop it there, and we can go into the actual level, and we can adjust it from here too. So I can move it down. This is 4%. So I've gone into Home Assistant into the device view, and you can see I charged 2 of them already, and that third one is where it was at from the factory. I'm going to go ahead and charge that one next. But I just wanted to show you what it was like inside here, what you could see, as well as the information in the automations. So I'm going to jump over to the automations and show you just, that I have it set up for 6:55 a.m. Monday through Friday, that it'll actually do what it calls closing them, but that means putting them all the way down, and that opens them up. So it starts getting some daylight in, but it still has the shears for some of that privacy, because I was just going to go ahead and charge these. So it's pretty easy to do so. I have a USB-C cord plugged into the wall, and you just take it and insert it into the USB-C port on the blinds, and they immediately begin to charge. and it blinks to tell you that it's charging, and then it goes off until it's fully charged and then it stays solid. Here you can see it's fully charged, so the light is lit. And I'll pull the cord out and you'll be able to see the USB-C. There we go, the refocus occurred and the USB-C port is there. And these are the buttons that you have to, the button on the left you have to press to connect things and change settings, and then the light is on the right. So everything's there, but as you can see from further away, everything's hidden. So there's nothing there that is really sticking out as far as needing to charge or the buttons or the lights. The valance covers it really well. We hook these up into our smart home ecosystem of Home Assistant, and then also expose these over to HomeKit through Apple, as well as Google and the Amazon Assistant. So for example, I can say, open the blinds, and you can see they go ahead and open for us. And I can give it other commands. Close the blinds, and this will be the command for lowering the blinds all the way. And then I was struggling a little bit with how to get them where we get the privacy when they're all the way down. But what I realized in Home Assistant is that the favorite button isn't exposed there, but we do have percent open. So I can, tell Google based on that information what to, set these at. Set the blinds to 5%, and then you'll see that this is essentially the same as our favorite button. So it's a pretty easy setup, and works out really well for the blinds and our integration with our Google Assistant. So now I'll show you what it looks like within HomeKit. So you can see through the Home Assistant integration that we can pull in these blinds. You can see that we have a few other things in here that actually have created me a couple problems. We have the Tesla frunk and the Tesla trunk in here that it also sees as window, shades of some type. So if I tell Siri to move the blinds, it'll actually go ahead and do the interaction with the Tesla as well. What happened last night was I popped the frunk and the trunk and everything on the Tesla while I was trying to move the blinds around. But as long as you avoid the Tesla integration issues, it's pretty easy. So I'll show you what the blinds look like here, and we can move them up and set a certain spot. Or, before that finishes, I'll just tell it go all the way down, and it'll change and adjust to that. And you can see all the way down again, it'll be the slightly open. But if I move it to, let me find the 5% here, right in there. So the 5% seems to be a pretty happy spot for us to be able to get that privacy that we desire from the blinds. So pretty easy and quick with the Apple HomeKit integration. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the Amazon Assistant integration next. So if we go into the Amazon Assistant's app, and we can go in and adjust the blinds, and it'll adjust up. I'm going to cut these off a little sooner. It's showing the progress here, but I'm going to actually take that over and tell it to go down and fully extend. And you can see it updates the progress as it goes, so it's constantly monitoring what the open level is. And there, it updated the rest of the way. And then I'm going to put it on the 5%, and you can see where that leaves us, and in a good setup for what we like for our privacy. So I told you earlier that BlindsMagic did give us a discount on these, but we did purchase these. And I promised fair review, which I definitely deliver on. So what's wrong with them? Because I'm not going to avoid that. There's a few things that I think that are not perfect, and one of them was the remote. I struggled a lot, spent a lot of time configuring the remote, and really no reason why. It was a ridiculous setup that one of them was already paired. It actually started rolling out at one point before it was even installed, because I put the batteries in the remote and didn't realize it was connected because I hadn't connected it. So that was really weird, and the process to get that set up was not ideal. Also, the design that they limit the designs that work with the Zigbee protocol, which I don't understand. So there was a smaller selection that I would have liked in the initial purchase, but that's something we were able to find something that we liked and works really well for us, and we really like the way they look in our room. So not a huge issue, but definitely the limited selection is an issue. And finally, the price, but the price is on par with all the other smart blinds. You're going to pay a premium to be able to have this connectivity, this integration with your smart home, and it's well worth it in my opinion, because we have a situation now where we don't have to ever touch the blinds. So hopefully these last a lot longer than our old ones. I showed you those earlier. They didn't work out very well. But these don't have the strings, so you don't have to worry about somebody pulling too hard on those, or somebody twisting the bar too far for the angling, or anything along those lines. Also, with the power, you have a situation where it is cordless, so it's safer for the children and such. And you don't have to worry about. I know we have some of those in another room, and when we lift them up, they don't want to stay and they fall back down, or they're a little hard to pull down. Then it's always complex there. So I do like that aspect, but the fact that they didn't have a huge variety, the price and the remote setup, those were definitely the negatives that I experienced during our setup. And now for the positive. What other blinds can you put up in 2 minutes and everything just works and you don't have to worry about it? Integrates directly with Home Assistant, and then from Home Assistant we have it working in HomeKit, Amazon Assistant, as well as the Google Assistant. I mean, come on, it's great setup. And within Home Assistant, the automations, we set up that one so far, but I plan on other automations based on time of the day. And we can have these, rotate, open, closed, move up, down, whatever we want them to do. We can handle all of that so that everything is set up and we don't have to touch anything. So I'm thinking about more complex automations, maybe different presence sensings, so it could tell if we were laying down in the bed or if we're in the room, and have it react based on that information. Thinking about also calendar integration, so it would know what time we're going to need to get up, and maybe open the blinds before that time rather than waiting until a certain time of day that we have hard coded. Something a little more dynamic. So really thinking through and fleshing through those other options, but thus far they've been great. We haven't had a single instance where they didn't respond. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. I plan on putting some other smart home products in that you might not have seen everywhere.